videos on simplicity and joyful living. If this is your first time watching one of my videos, my name is Helen. I am a KonMari Master Consultant and trained professional organizer. And I will love it if you can subscribe to my channel and come spark joy with me. In today's video, I will share all my best tips on how my family and I stopped eating out so much. In my previous video where I talk about the rules I have for my no buy, low buy challenge in 2021, if you haven't seen that video, I will link it. And in that video, I did mention that my family and I stopped eating out in 2020 and that we will continue our good habits in 2021. And today I want to talk about how we actually made those changes in 2020 and what happened, because I think some of these tips will be really helpful to you if you are also doing a no spend or a low buy or a no buy challenge for 2021. I was looking at some numbers of what we spent in 2019, and I was really surprised to see that we spent over $6,000 on eating out alone. So this averaged out to be around $500 a month, and this includes all meals, because sometimes we would eat out breakfast, sometimes lunch, dinner, and we also often went out for after school snacks, coffee, ice cream, and things like that. My family and I, we really enjoyed eating out. Over the years, we tried to tell ourselves to only go out once a week, but we will always find more excuses to go out more than that, whether it's to celebrate something, or if we were too tired to cook, or if we simply just wanted to try a new restaurant. Basically, I don't think there was a single week where we actually succeeded in our goal in only eating out once a week in 2019. To give you a more accurate picture of us in 2019 and before, if I was going out with friends, I will always be the one choosing where we would go, or if friends are having other people visiting them, or they're just looking for recommendations, they will always come to me. My husband even went as far as giving me the nickname the concierge, because I always want to know what's new, what's happening, what's good, and where we can go next. So a few things and events happened that led to us making this complete lifestyle change, which I will talk about as I share my tips. So let's get started. My first tip is know your why. I think one of the biggest reasons why we didn't succeed before is because we didn't have a clear why. Not having that clear why made it easy to make different choices. One of my clients actually really inspired me. So back in 2019, I was working with this really lovely family, and we tidied up their entire home. And as we were tidying up the kitchen and pantry and food storage and fridge, I learned in conversation that this family ate all of their meals at home. So they never went out to eat, and if they did, it would be a really rarity. I think I found out that they only went out one time in the previous 6 months, and that was really surprising to me because at that time, I was going out many times a week. I said to my client, "Wow, you must really enjoy cooking." And she looks at me and she said, "No, Helen, I don't enjoy cooking at all. What I enjoy is keeping my family healthy and giving them nourishing, healthy food." And this reflects in the food in their home. They had really high quality organic produce, and they had really healthy snacks. As a foodie, this is a new idea to me because I almost never saw food as fuel. I always saw food as this pleasure thing, this thing that is just like fun and indulgent and luxurious. Whenever I think about eating out versus cooking at home, I only looked at it from the cost savings benefit and not the health benefit. And for my husband and I, we're not really particularly motivated by saving money. Of course, we know that it's important and we don't have a lot of disposable income. However, when you are looking at it when you're tired and grumpy and you just don't really want to cook, and you're thinking, okay, I can cook at home and save $30, or I can just go out and solve this one problem, you're likely to choose going out because it's fun, it's exciting, you don't have to do the work, and the $30, you don't really think of it as this long-term benefit because at that moment, you're like, I will just do better next week. And that's kind of how we were. But after this conversation with my client about health being a major motivator for her, I couldn't stop thinking about it. My husband had so many health challenges over the year, and I was so overweight, and our son Emerson was such a picky eater. We were not really healthy. Towards the end of 2019, around November, that's when I decided to make a change because I wanted to have more energy, I wanted to be healthier, and I wanted to lose all that extra weight I was carrying. I had what my client said in my head about health, and I quickly realized that if I cooked at home and was in control of my food, it would make my health journey a lot easier. Because even when my husband and I go out and we would choose a healthier option, like a salad or a poke bowl, you're still not in charge of what's in all the different sauces and different components or the portions. So if you want to cook more in 2021, I really encourage you to sit down and think about, why do you want to do this? Think about all the different benefits, because once that's clear in your head and not just this vague idea that, yeah, it's kind of healthier or you will save more money, but really have a clear why. Like, for example, if money is your motivator, why do you want to save money? This saving money in general is a great idea, but if you don't have a clear why, I think it makes it hard to make that choice. So do you want to save money to buy a house? Do you want to save money to go on a vacation? Or do you want to save money for a rainy day? I think once you know exactly what that money is going to be for, or why do you want to eat healthier, once you have a clear why, I think it will really help you make those decisions to go towards your goal. My second tip is to always have a backup meal. I think this was around the same time that I decided to be healthier. I went to an intuitive eating workshop, and there was a lot of different takeaways, but one of the things that really stood out to me is one of the hosts said, if you always have a jar of organic tomato sauce and a box of pasta, and if you don't eat pasta, you can do gluten-free, or you can do, there's a lot of different pastas made with like lentils or quinoa or beans, so just choose a pasta that you like. But if you always have a jar of organic tomato sauce and a box of pasta, then you always have a healthy-ish backup dinner at home. For me, I think having this backup is so key, even though we don't actually end up eating it most of the time. Often on our way home, my husband and I would talk about, what should we make for lunch, what should we make for dinner, and we would ask each other, what do you think is in the fridge, and so on and so forth. But before, if we can't remember what's in the fridge, the easy choice might be, well, let's just stay out and go eat at a restaurant. But now we can always say, well, if there's nothing, we can always have pasta with sauce. This made it really easy to choose to go home rather than staying out, because we know that backup is there. And once we get home, we can look at what other things we might have, and we either have this pasta and we jazz it up with different ingredients, or maybe we have something completely different that we've forgotten about. My third tip is to try cooking different cuisines at home. One of the appealing things for me about going out to eat is that I get to try all these different food, and there's no reason why you can't try different food at home. When we really missed going out for sushi, we started making sushi at home. We also tried making okonomiyaki for the first time. We've never had it in a restaurant, but we tried making it at home when I was looking up Japanese food recipes, and it was delicious. And now we make it almost every week. I've also tried to cook more Chinese food and Korean food and Vietnamese food and Italian food. It's been a lot of fun exploring different cuisines. So you never know when you're going to discover a new recipe that might become a family staple for years to come. My fourth tip is to have at least one theme night a week. So you can choose something that everyone in the family enjoys, and then everyone will look forward to that day of the week. We used to go out for pizza a lot, and we decided to make Pizza Friday a thing at home, where we make our own pizza, and we have enjoyed that process so much. It's so great to have something to look forward to, because it's a meal that we all really enjoy, and also just taking that one what to make for dinner decision away a week has been Great. We only do one theme night a week because I personally really like variety, and for me, one is kind of the max I'm willing to commit to. But I know some people really enjoy having a theme night every week, so you can do things like meatless Mondays or Taco Tuesdays and things like that. So if you are sick and tired of making decisions on what to make for dinner, start with having one theme night, and then if you like it, maybe you can incorporate more different theme nights. My final tip is to use up what you have. In fact, make it like a challenge and make it a game for yourself. I know a lot of people recommend doing meal plans or meal prep at home in order to eat at home more, but I honestly think there are two types of people. One type doesn't mind eating the same thing day in and day out. They don't mind having the same breakfast or the same lunch or the same dinner for weeks on end. I used to have coworkers like this when I was working in a corporate job, and they honestly are so happy to eat the same thing every day because food is just fuel. And then I think there's another type of people who really craves variety, and I'm definitely that type. Even when I eat leftovers, I want to make it taste different by making it into something else. I just honestly cannot meal prep. I don't even plan ahead when I go to grocery stores because I find that when I shop with a recipe, I end up changing my mind about what I want to make by the time I get home, which I know is ridiculous. So comment below if you can relate to me, or let me know if you are type 1 or type 2. Even if you don't think you're that good of a cook or that creative of a cook, I want to challenge you to think differently. So instead of looking at recipes like I have to follow all these steps and all these ingredients, maybe look at the recipes that appeals to you and ask yourself, what is it appealing about it? And then take inspiration from those recipes and only use up what you have. For example, the other day I had some udon and I was looking at recipes for udon, and I found one for a yaki udon, which is a stir fry, and I didn't have most of the ingredients. However, I used the recipe for the cooking instructions and the sauce, and then the toppings I just used whatever we had in the fridge, and it still turned out great. And one of my favorite things to do with leftover veggies at the end of the week is to basically put them all in the pot with some broth and then blend it at the end, and it just becomes a delicious vegetable soup. So those are my 5 tips on how to stop eating out so much and cook more at home. I hope you find this video helpful in your journey. And if you have any other ideas or videos you'd like to see or topics you would like me to cover, please comment below and let me know. I'm open to suggestions. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, I hope you will do so and like this video because it would really help out a small channel like mine. Until next time, choose joy, live well.